The Navy has dispatched 3 warships to the southern coast of Yemen after a United Arab Emirates ship was hit by rockets and sunk. The Iranian-backed Houthis claiming responsibility for the attack, which nearly sunk, almost sunk. The hybrid catamaran ship, 2 U.S. guided missile destroyers, joining the USS Ponce at the southern end of the Bab al-Mandab Strait. The UAE, part of a Saudi-led coalition fighting the Iranian-backed Houthis. The United States previously had provided support to the coalition in that fight. So what does it all mean, and what are the prospects? Joining me now, former Pentagon official, Fox News national security analyst, KT McFarland. KT, suddenly we have 3 warships on station now in the strait, and what is going on here? This is a very un-Obama-like move, is it not?
Yeah, absolutely. And where we are now is in the middle of a proxy civil war in Yemen, where it's Saudi Arabia versus Iran. Now, if you look back in the last several years, Obama has been basically in the beta dog position. He's let Iran in the alpha dog position. Iran has done everything it wants. It's gotten the nuclear deal. It's gotten the money. It threatens our ships. It's taken our sailors. And now, all of a sudden, President Obama is standing up to Iran. I think in part it's because he's trying to show the Saudis he's still our friends. But what worries me, Lou, is that all of a sudden by Obama standing up and being tough, is the opportunity for miscalculation on everybody's side goes way up. He's not acting true to form.
Not acting true to forms. There is, as a matter of fact, I can't think of anything where he's reacted this way. And at the same time, the rocket that almost sunk this ship was Iranian. It was presumably Iranian, was it not?
Yeah, Iranian shoulder-fired missile. I think the big untold story in the Middle East is whatever happened to all of Gaddafi of Libya's shoulder-fired missiles. We know we had tens of thousands of them, and they've never really shown up. Those are the things that one guy can use them, maybe 2 guys, and they can take down a helicopter, they can take down a low-flying aircraft. That's what we think took down, that was fired at the UAE ship. But I'm really concerned that someday those are all going to start showing up throughout the Middle East. We know they've been in the international black market, and yet they haven't been used yet to take down aircraft.
Now, tell us what you make of Secretary Kerry now saying the talks are over, just as he threatened last week, with Russia on the issue of Syria. You know, we're talking about, what, 10 million refugees in total, half of them at least or more displaced beyond Syria in the region and Europe, and the Russians we no longer are going to talk with. This is to me absolutely extraordinary. What do you make of it?
I think you're absolutely right. You know, look, the thing about Secretary Kerry was negotiating with the Russians. The Russians don't care about him. The Russians gave him a photo op so that he could pretend he was doing something. The reality is, the Russians are now shaping events in the Middle East. The Russians are now reinforcing with air defense systems in Syria. The Russians are deciding Assad is going to stay, America get out of the way, everybody else is getting out of the way. We're bombing Aleppo, too bad, everybody. And so when Secretary Kerry sort of, you know, disappointingly says we're not going to have negotiations with the Russians could care less. They're already calling the shots.
And a 3rd term of this in prospect. KT
Oh,
McFarland,
yeah, and that's what they hope. You bet.
Thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Lou.